I am an American citizen, and I'm proud to be an American citizen. But I have an obligation to you, America. I'm going to call this video a wake-up call to America. And for you to recognize and take America back to you, we the people, not the U.S. corrupt government and the Jewish lobbyists and the Jewish Zionist media controlling us and putting us in a deep recession and basically starting wars in the Middle East that we have no business to be there. So we have basically invested over $5 trillion in the Middle East in the past decades. We gone to the war in Iraq. That was a bogus war. They never had nuclear, and we had no business going there. We lost over 6,000 American soldiers there, and several hundred thousand are disabled. And we spent over $1 trillion there. Over 500,000 Iraqi died there. And therefore we left Iraq in devastating infrastructure. And look at the killing that's still going on today. President Obama calls this a victory, withdrawing out of Iran. Give me a break, President Obama. You withdrew out of Iraq because there was no win for you, and you're bankrupt in America, you're in deep recession, and you have no money to be able to maintain the war in Iran or keep the soldiers here. That's why you pulled out. So stop your rhetoric and be honest to the American citizen. The truth is always being put away from us as American citizens. Then we go into Libya, the no-fly zone. What did we gain out of it? Another $1 trillion? Devastate the infrastructure, and look at now the uprising in Libya, and we could really control it. So where's real democracy? We supported the rebels in Syria and other parts of the Middle East. We don't know who they are. We just given them money, ammunition, for what? To protect Israel? To divide the Middle East against each other? Have Muslims killing Muslims? So the tragedy was never about democracy, capitalism, and build empowerment for the Middle East. It's about how to divide them under the blueprint and make sure if we can't take it over, then they will split among themselves and they will be fighting each other for the next decades. And that's the only way that Israel could feel safe without a threat, and the U.S. will be basically controlling and helping rebels and basically spending trillions of dollars for wars in order to create jobs in America, because clearly we're in deep recession and we can't manufacture our own jobs right here in America without going to war. So the next war is going to be Iran, because if we don't go to war in Iran, we're going to have an uprising right here in America with the recession. That's how you divert tension from the American citizen, is to go into another war and have the media under focus on the war, whether it's Iran or somewhere else, and be able to get the manufacturers for the armed forces and the wars going and employ people. And unfortunately, what happened to capitalism? To citizens worldwide that gotta keep dying because that's the only solution is left to get out of recession. So it's time for you, America, to ask yourselves and protest the U.S. government that we no longer gonna support any war, Iran or anyone else. Let Israel worry about Iran and its nuclear. What gives it a right to Israel, that is a legitimate state as far as I'm concerned, that to have the nuclear bomb and Iran can't? I don't think that's democracy. I think if we're gonna have true democracy, whoever could afford the science and develop whatever they want to develop, I think that's their business, it's not ours. No one's gonna cross the Atlantic Ocean and attack America. That's nonsense. So if we're not being attacked, why are we attacking other countries? Why we made enemies across the world with the Muslim world, which we need their purchasing power, we need to integrate, we need to communicate, and we need to import, export, and we need to build capitalism. And they have the wealth, they have the numbers, and we shouldn't have the doors closed Unfortunately, America has closed those doors to satisfy Israel and the Jewish lobbyists and the Jewish Zionist media. You are paying the price, America. Wake up. Please take a stand for the future and build your own empowerment in America, and don't send your sons and daughters to any war outside of the U.S. unless the U.S. being attacked. That's something else. Then you have to defend your home. But if no one attacking us, we should not interfere with other countries and try to dictate their religions and take over their countries and basically become a dictatorship. America is about capitalism and freedom. Why don't we let the world be free? Why are we trying to control the world? We have shifted policy from capitalism, democracy, into socialism and basically dictatorship. You could see President Obama or Bush, every day they're sanctioning, whether it's Syria, whether it's Iran, whether it's Libya, and any country. So what gives us a right? Are we a babysitter to the world? And that's why we're fallen? So wake up, smell the coffee. You're fallen. You got 50 million citizens on food stamp, 23 million unemployed, millions into foreclosure, and I don't think you're gonna get out of the recession this decade or next decade. I don't think President Obama or Mitt Romney is gonna make a difference for you who wins. I could assure you that as a citizen. I won't be here, but remember my words. You're not gonna get out of this recession for a decade. It's much deeper than you think. It's gonna get worse. The truth was never put out on the recession because they're afraid of an uprising right here in America against the U.S. government and to shut down the barriers and to take a stand, no more wars, and invest the dollars you're going to invest in wars right here in America, into education, into your children, and into your homeowners. So America, it's up to you whether you're taking America back from the corrupt government, or whether you're gonna fall asleep and let them spend your money and you're gonna be liable for trillions of dollars to pay money that was never spent on America and was spent on corruption and takeover abroad. Your children and your grandchildren are stuck with debts for trillions of dollars. Is this what it's all about? So the question is, why are you not speaking out? It's time to really come forward and put an agenda, America, of your own. Don't trust of your own government. They're not going to do you any service, either one. Doesn't matter, Republican or Democrat. They both have the same agenda. It's to serve the Jewish lobbyists. They're controlled by the Jewish Zionist media, and Israel calls the shot behind the scene. Now, I think you're missing the whole point. I'm a victim to the Jewish lobbyists. I'm a victim to the Jewish Zionist media. Take a look under alphonsemorad.com and ask yourself, how could Jewish developers take 276 units in a bankruptcy court for $1? Have you ever heard of that? That produces income from HUD, $3 million a year. That is your answer. Where's capitalism? So I hope at least you will give me that credit. And why I owe $800,000 to the IRS for money I never received, the Jewish developers pocketed, and the judges covered up for them, the IRS exterminator covered up for them, and all the U.S. justice and the President Bush, everybody covered up for them. So how powerful is the Jewish lobbyist? They decide who's your next president. You really don't. You think you do. I wish you luck.